People say, well, you don't know of a technology that did that, so therefore it didn't, happen. Wait, you start out with determining what happened first. It's very important, because if you start out with what you know, you won't get there because you've never seen this before. But we know it happened, so therefore there is a technology that exists that can do this. As we've seen, the evidence is showing us a different story than what we were led to believe. Now this toasted bus, notice there's no big flame marks running up the side of the bus. No scorch marks. We have also this vehicle that's already rusted. You can see Building 7 is still standing. Every car up this road was toasted in some way.
So we'll go back to the Building 7 again. And so was that same weapon used on that?
Yeah, I mean that again, the real slam dunk for that, which I now show to people since we got the clip, although the clip's been around for years and years since the day itself. There is a video which I've made. It's 2 minutes long, and it's an interview with a. First minute is the destruction of the Ocean Tower building, which I think was in Florida, which they built. It was some type of hotel complex which was built on some dodgy ground. I think there was slightly shifting ground or something, and not firm, and the cracks appeared in the structure after they built it, and there was a big argument and blah de blah de blah. Was it the Ocean Tower? Yeah, it was. And they eventually, after about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, had to demolish it because there was nothing else they could do with it. It was going to be they'd already spent about $50 million on it to develop this complex, but then they realised they'd shot it, they couldn't build it because it was too damaged, the building was already too damaged. They had to bring it down, controlled demolition. So you've got this picture of this tower coming down. I think it's like 25 stories or something. It's fair size, and it's Controlled Demolition Inc. that did it, and they have the video, and it's about a quarter of a mile away, this building, and you hear this boom, 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 and down it comes. I then cut to the 9/11 lady called Barbara Crowley. She's an EMT, emergency medical technician. She's been interviewed by a guy from Channel 7 or something, and she's got a microphone in front of her. She's saying, we need medical supplies, we need water, we need food for these firemen that are working around the site, and still rescuing people, come down, And as she's saying this, there's Building 7 in the background of the shot. It's about 3-4 blocks away.
Right.
Down it goes.
Right.
And the guy says, Building 7's just gone down. She goes, what's happened? What happened? Building 7 doesn't even hear it. Can't hear it on the film. She doesn't even hear it. Right. She's about 4 or 5 blocks away.
Speak, go. Your name, ma'am?
Barbara Crowley.
C-R-O-W-L-E-Y.
NYU Medical Center.
Okay, tell me what you know.
All I know at this point is they're trying to establish an outdoor hospital facility like we've set up at Chelsea Piers, a triage unit for the personnel that are attending to the scene, not to the injured in the scene. They can't get in to get any casualties out at this time. They don't know the extent of it at this point. What we're doing now is going up to get medical supplies, to bring down trauma physicians down here, to set up the surgical unit and the triage unit down here, in addition to, if anybody out there can help, any vendors who have food or supplies. The firemen have no food, nothing but snacks. They need fluids, they need water, and they need protein foods. This is just the beginning of what they're facing. So we need masks. We need TB masks. Holy shit! What is it?
It just went down.
What just went down?
World Trade 7.
It did go down before.
No, 7. Number 7.
Oh my God!
That proves it's not controlled demolition. Not only that, but there was no seismic signature. 0.6. Less than that's like what you get when you hit a jackhammer on the ground. For a 47-story building.
No explosions there, because it's not explosions.
It appears that it was dissolved. It was destroyed over a longer period than the towers. They took from about maybe 10, 11 o'clock in the morning until 5. So it's done over about 6, 7 hours maybe. And then the interior was dustified, and what you saw was just a shell going down.
I mean, just in the videos of the Twin Towers getting blown down, the sound's more like a hissing sound.
Yeah. And
right.
you know, you should see those clips of the firemen saying, "Oh, these floors were popping out." But what we would argue is, and we've got witness testimony of this. Rennie Davila, for example, who was one of the firefighters that mentioned in Dr. Judy Wood's talk, his fire truck blew up. The whole fire truck blew up, and this is on the ground. And other firemen were reporting that the Scott packs, which are air tanks, basically, you know, like scuba tanks, you know, that they use to go into buildings, they were exploding on the backs of the trucks. Why would air tanks explode on the backs of trucks? That's where you got the explosive sounds. That's why people thought they were bombs, because you got these tanks exploding. Fire extinguishers I mentioned before, pressurised tanks. They were in the water system in the World Trade Center. They had to pump the water up, like 3 floors at a time. So you had pressurised tanks at various points in the towers to help the water be pumped around to the various toilets and showers and whatever else was in there. What about when the metal skin on those tanks gets weakened by this metal dissolving technology? That's going to explode. So that, to me, would account for all the explosions in the tower. Did they also put in some bombs? I don't know. I don't care.
It doesn't matter, does it?
No.
You know, because the explanation is already there. It covers everything.
And so, what's in Dr. Wood's book accounts for pretty much everything that was seen and heard on that day. You know, yes, there may be other things that were done which we can't prove whether they were done or not because there's no evidence left. But certainly the buildings were turned to dust with an energy weapon, and that's the irrefutable proof of that is and has been available for 10 years.